Hey family, peace and love. Sister Nzinga from Flowing and Growing with Sister Nzinga YouTube channel. Thank you for everybody who does continue to watch. I gave it a little brief one last week because I was traveling. I'm still moving around a little bit, We call this a moving and grooving. It's my Earth Day coming up in a couple of days, and so I'm just celebrating myself. You know what I'm saying? Why not? So I'm going not going to be long again today, but again, thank you everybody for. I got some new subscribers. Thank you for joining on. Thank you for continue to watch and share. That's really been a not. It's been getting my videos have been getting really good numbers as far as those that are watching. I'm so grateful for it. But I want to ask you to continue to comment. I need some feedback. I need some feedback. But anyway, thank you for all that you do and that the sharing and the caring. Today I want to talk about like this thing think. It ain't illegal yet. I created this acronym for the word think, THINK, taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. Taking hold of and implementing new knowledge. So I want to talk about some things I want you to think about today, because sometimes we are our own we are causing our own demise, because the things that we're told, we take it as value, and then we repeat it ourselves. But if we think about it, we think about the reality that these things that they're saying about us are not true or shouldn't be applied to us, or we don't deserve to be, shown in this negative way, then things would be different for us. But we have taken them, for to say as the gospel for when they say things, when they say things on the news, and when they do things, the things that they give us and so forth. So we are partly responsible. That's what I want us to understand, that we are participating in our own demise, and the by not thinking and taking different choices versus what we are giving or told. That is what has us so stuck under this thing. When I say that, we need to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, because we don't realize that we are being mentally enslaved in our minds. It's not under shackles no more, but in our minds, we are being enslaved in our minds, because we are told certain things that we just take it and accept it. And so, we have to stop acquiescing to the things that we're being told and shown to us, because at this point, you guys, I mean, don't you understand? It's just not true. We just can't trust them for the information that they're giving them, or they're not on our side. They don't care about us. So some things that I want you to think about is just some simple things that, we were brought over here, if this story is even the truth, that we were brought over here from Africa, from wherever we would come from. But, basically when a Chinese person comes to America, they're still a Chinese. When a person from Russia comes to America, they're still a Russian. But why is it that when we were brought over here from Africa, why weren't we just automatically just considered as Africans, if that's where they brought us from? Or wherever that they say they brought us from. But, but the problem is that because some of us was already here. And that's the part of the story that we have to learn. There's a brother named Dane Calloway who wrote a book and saying that the story was reversed, and is telling you these things about that this story that we told about the slave trade, all of it is not really true. So again, that's something I want you to investigate yourself. His name is Dane, Dane Calloway. He's on YouTube. There's some of that story that we told is not true. So maybe that's why they didn't automatically just call us Africans, because we were already here. Which in that case, we should have just been called that we were the indigenous people who were here, and they called the Indians. They should have given us that name, but of course they don't want us to know that either. So you have to really understand that that some of the stuff that we're told and we're given is really not beneficial to us, because it's not the truth. And so some of the other things that I want you to think about is this stuff what we call soul food. Soul food was given to us, when we were enslaved. Like I said, we're not slaves, we were enslaved. That this is the food we were given, the chitlins, the collard greens, and this, that, and the other. But we need to understand that, that was what we was given. Now we do have choices of other things that we could eat. And we do know now that some of those things that we call soul food, that, was supposed to be our food, the black people's food, it's really not good for us. And so we have to make different choices now in making our food choices. Enjoy it if you like, but then still do other stuff. Don't eat that just because you think that's the only food that black people are supposed to eat. Okay? The other things are thinking about when they created this word called the ghetto. We act ghetto. This is what we talk about each other. Oh, she ghetto. We continue to use these words against ourselves and they have very negative connotations. But if we would think about it, that's not who we are. So we've taken someone else's idea and allowed them to be able to tell us that this is this and this is that. Again, these things really don't apply to us. And so even the areas that we live in, we treat it like a ghetto because they tell you this is a ghetto. And so we treat our own homes and our neighborhoods as ghettos because we think this is what the ghetto is. But if you moved out to the suburbs somewhere, you live a different life. And so why not, if it's your property, no matter where it is, it's yours. You're supposed to take care of it. But don't treat it like a ghetto just because they say this is what's supposed to happen in a ghetto. So what I'm trying to say is we're not thinking. We're just taking their word for what it is, and we're not thinking for ourselves about what these things mean and how they are applied to us. And again, this leads to our own demise. Even the word minority, sometimes we're not the minority in something. There's more people of color in the world, in organizations and so forth. And then, the way they messed up the way they play that word minority, a white woman could be a minority. Gay people could be the minority. So they just put it in, mixed it all in, so it doesn't get the good service when they say that they want to hire minorities. Okay, well, they could go hire some gay people, they could hire some Indians, they could hire some Chinese people, whatever, but then that still doesn't give us opportunities. So this is, we get the play on the words and know that all the things that we use, the words that are being used are words that they have created and they just play with. Some of it just was like witchcraft because it automatically just goes against you. You use it on yourself, but it's automatically is counted against you. What were some of the other things I want to talk about? Even though, even some of the word urban, there's actually stores called the Urban Warehouse. So they're telling you that this is the people in the urban people who are supposed to be, quote unquote, the black people. This is where you're supposed to shop. This is how you're supposed to dress. No, you don't. You have so many opportunities to wear what the hell you want to wear. So this is, again, these are words that we use against ourselves. And they have created these words, but this is not who we are. They have defined us. Think about this Kwanzaa thing because, the Kwanzaa is so important because one of the principles tells you that we are Kuji Chakalia, that we want to define our own selves. That we want to determine our own destiny. We do not have to follow along with these things. Again, guys, if we think, because it ain't illegal yet, then we will be taking the time to put these things into play, and we will be making other choices for ourselves. The other thing is that, when we say that, that we're not good at math, oh my gosh, that's just something we even said ourselves. We ain't good at math, and then especially towards the young boys, the young black boys, they're not good at math, and it's automatically. But that's not true. Do you know we created math? Imhotep, he created math. So we cannot continue to use these words and these phrases that are placed upon us to describe us who we are because that's not us. We have to think. It ain't illegal yet. We are excellent at math. Do you know some of the things that we have created? Do you know this world would not be the way it is if we hadn't created things in this world? Of course, we haven't gotten credit for it because, again, we just think that whatever they say is the gospel and we just go along with what they say. But we have to emancipate ourselves from this mental slavery because these are things that we are doing on our own self. Like that Willie Lynch letter was telling us that we no longer have to kill ourselves. They no longer have to kill us because we're killing ourselves. We no longer have to even for them to do things to us because we are doing it to ourselves. We automatically go sit at the back of the bus thinking that's where we belong. We automatically think that, that these people are more superior than us. Think the white man's ice is colder than our ice. It's not true. And if we don't think for ourselves to emancipate yourself from this mental slavery, this is what's going to continue to happen to us as a people. So we have to, like the math and all these things that they say that we are, we have to stop acquiescing and thinking that this is what we really are and start thinking for ourselves and putting ourselves in different categories and be able to know that this is a big world that's out here, that you're free. So I'm trying to tell you, you're free. You're free to choose. You're free to do what you want to do. We want to live in certain neighborhoods. We want to, eat certain foods. We want to do this. We are the ones who are continuing to work their program that they have against us. It's not for us. It's against us. So I just want to leave you just with a couple of tidbits. I had a couple of things in my mind, but it's not coming to me right now, and I have to go get dressed. So I'm moving about. It's my Earth Day, and I'm celebrating. So. But thank you so much for continuing to listen. But just think about those things. The things that they're telling us that these negative terms that they put against us are not true. And if we continue to perpetuate these ideas, that is what's keeping you into mental slavery because you don't realize it. You don't realize that this is the problem that we're having. This is why we can't unite. They say, we talk about ourselves. We just can't get together. No, we have to stop saying that. You get together with somebody else, two, three, four, five people, yes. Another somehow get together, four, five people. We can unite, but we automatically think that, oh, we can't trust each other. We can't do this. That's not true. There is someone out there. Of course, of course, in the world there is some people that we can't trust. I mean, that's just true. But there is some. I'm sure you have some close friends that you could do some things with collectively, and you guys could be on the same page, and you could work and develop into something that would be good for yourself, for the community, for the nation, for our people. So we have to stop taking their ideas and putting it upon us and saying that that's the fact, that's the truth. It's not. Okay? Think it ain't illegal yet. I implore you to think it ain't illegal yet. Start thinking for yourself. Anything that is said, when they tell you on the news, look how they tell you the news. They show you actually things, and then they have another person that comes back and tell you, well, this is what you saw. Why do we need that? You can't think for yourself and say, determine what that thing is. And that's how they got us. When we can clearly see that this policeman shot this man and did this and blah, blah, blah. But by the time their story comes around, it's like the story is totally different. It's different from what you actually saw with your own damn eyes. Really? So, again, peace and love, everybody. I got to run. Got to be short today. I love you, and continue to, to think it ain't illegal yet. We have got to work on emancipating ourselves from mental slavery. We must. It is a must. And it's not just think about it for yourself. You're thinking, I'm 70 years old, I'm whatever you are, and my life is okay, I got money, blah, blah, blah. But this is not about you. This is about our people. This is about the future of your children. I'm sure you got children and grandchildren that you want to have a better life when you're gone. And if we continue to go and continue to participate in our own demise, then what's going to happen for our children? And we have to teach the children the truth. We can't keep saying all this stuff that they tell us, this is so, and we participate in it. It's not for us. So without me going on, I want to just stop right here. Think it ain't illegal yet. I love you. God loves you, and so do I. Peace and love, everybody, and thank you again for my support.